can't travel solo. You can't travel alone. Who said that? Hold up. I give you what? Particular time in your life. I'm not a preacher, or I'm not a seer. You will be faced with the urge to travel solo. Yes, yeah, I get that you will. You know why? Firstly, there will be a time you want to travel, yeah, and oh, all your friends are busy, all your friends are booked, or all your friends, they are not available, like they are not ready to travel with you. Okay, that's even like rare. But what about the time you are 3 or 4 and you all have arranged all your trip to Miami, you've arranged all your trip to Maldives or anywhere, and last minute someone say, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't go because I have something to do. And then the next person go, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't afford it, I don't have enough funds. Okay, and then you're left to just 2 of you. The day before the trip, the other person say, oh, I'm sorry, I just find out that I can't go because my PTO was not approved. Okay, so you're left alone. You have already booked everything and you do not have a reason not to travel. Would you go or would you not go? Let me know in the comment section if you would travel. Well, for me, I will take the bull by the horn and I will travel regardless of who comes with me. So if this is something you are looking forward to do in the nearest future, or you are already planning to travel solo, stick to the end of this video because I will be giving you all the things you need to know before you travel solo. If this is your first time of joining my channel, my name is Theo and I am your captain. First and foremost, I want you to understand that I am not a solo expert. But I have been to 10 countries and I went to 8 solo. So I can share some of my tips with you. What is solo traveling? You might be wondering. Solo traveling is just simply put, you going to a destination alone. It can be a city break, be a spa break alone. That can be classified as solo traveling. It does not necessarily mean you traveling, entering the plane and traveling out of your country. No, solo traveling can just be you going to the next city alone. The first thing I will try to say is plan. You cannot do anything without planning, especially if you're doing it for the first time. I know there's people that are spontaneous. For me, I can travel spontaneously, but I think it's because I'm at this phase in my life where I think I can just travel spontaneously. But if it's the first time, I would definitely advise you to plan. Get a drawing book, get your iPad or whatever you use to make plans, and plan where you're gonna stay, activities you're gonna do. Just make a very rough itinerary. I mean, to be honest, you might not be perfect in making your own itinerary, but I want you to know that you need to start from somewhere. You can make your activities very minute. You can make your activities very short if it's the first time you're traveling, so you don't get so overwhelmed. You need good funds. While you can travel on a budget, if you're traveling solo, it's more expensive. Yes, guys, we are not ready for that conversation, but it is more expensive to travel solo. So if you are planning just traveling and it's the first time, you need extra funds. For example, if you know you're gonna spend $1,000 or 1,000 quid for that trip, make sure you have 1,500, or just make sure you have something extra, because you never can tell, something might happen and the last thing you want to do is to be stranded in a city you know no one. If you do not spend up to that amount, it's perfect. First time traveling solo, you want to make sure that you have made enough research. Make enough research to travel to a country that is safe. I mean, no place in this world is totally safe, but see somewhere that is known to be very dangerous and just go there for the first time when you're traveling solo. That would be a not so good idea. Make your research and make sure the country or the city you're going to is known to be safe and touristy. Like, you want to make sure that that part of the world accepts tourists wholeheartedly. And if you're looking for that, you can just go online and check for countries or cities that are safe for tourists. I would recommend you traveling solo for the first time. You can go to Iceland. Iceland is known to be like 99% safe. Allow enough time to get to your destination. You just need enough time. So if you see that where you're going to will take you an hour, make sure you plan an hour 30 minutes, because you do not know where you're going to. You are most likely to miss your way and you might need more time to get there. The next thing I want to say is, do not act or look confused. The fact is, you will be confused. At a point, you will need to ask for help, but do not look it. Do not look confused. Do not act confused. Try as much as possible to build that self-confidence when you're traveling solo. I know it's hard to say, but you just have to get that out. I mean, it will come with experience. Try and act smart at all times, especially if you're a female. Let's not go into that, but we all know that you need to be extra cautious when you are alone. Now, you are more vulnerable to being attacked, robbed, and all the bad things when you act confused, when you act like you are a tourist. So one thing I always do is I act like I know where I'm going. I act like I know what I am doing, and that's why proper planning needs to come in. If you plan yourself properly, you will not look confused or act confused at any point, and that's why allowing enough time comes in. If you have enough time, you will not be rushing, making you look confused or act confused. My first few tips are very important: time and planning. That brings me to the next point: answering questions. You do not have to answer every question someone asks you. Sometimes you need to tell a beautiful lie. Why? Someone can just walk up to you when they see you are confused and say, "Are you new here?" There's a TikTok.
Are you new here?
They ask you, "Are you new here?" I say, "Oh yeah, it's my first time. I'm here alone. I'm so scared. I'm so dumb." You don't want to be doing that. Now you do not know the total stranger you're talking to. You don't even know their plans for you might be for good or for bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, you could meet beautiful strangers out there. I have met beautiful strangers that are so close to me till date, but these are just things you need to know, that it's not always that beautiful. You tell them that, "Oh no, I'm not alone. My friend is in the hotel. I just came to pick up something." Or, "No, my friend doesn't want to come out, but she's in the hotel. I'm just going around to see sights." At least they know that you have someone. If anything happens to you, there's someone that can find out where you are. I mean, but if you say, "Oh yes, I'm alone, I'm here alone," and that will make you to be vulnerable. If anything happens to you, they know that no one will come searching for you. So that will give them the go ahead to do what they want if they have that in mind. Or ignore. I mean, tell them you are in a hurry, you don't want to talk about anything, and just move ahead. Tell them you're late to meet someone, so you don't want to answer any stranger. That brings me to the next point, which is always giving your friends live updates of where you are. You can send them your address, your full trip, so they always know at this point you are in this place, you are at this place. They always have an idea of where you are, so that will help them just in case anything goes wrong. They know where you are. They make sure you are in an activity area with your international passport. I'm saying this because, just for instance, you went to Dubai and you went out to the safari desert or whatever activity you have for that day. You've gone out and something happened and you need to evacuate the scene immediately. Have your international passport with you. You just have to either book the next flight home or anything. But just because if anything happens, I have my passport with me, I don't care about my luggages. I can always just take the next flight and I'm out of that country. Something can just happen and you might not have time to go back to your hotel to pick your passport, and fire outbreak or anything. I mean, whenever I travel solo, I think of the worst. If I have it with me, I know that I can always leave that country in a sec. So I always say, take your passport. It might not be if you know you misplace things a lot, don't go out with your passports. I do not misplace things, especially things that are important to me. I always keep them safe. But if you know that you're not good in keeping things safe with you, then that might be a bad idea for you. Make friends with travelers like you. I know you want to learn about new cultures, meet new people and all that, but if you're traveling solo for the first time, you should be ready to make friends with more travelers first. I mean, when you build your full confidence, you can make friends with the locals. But if you're going for the first time, and if you're traveling solo for the first time, you want to make friends with your kind. You want to make friends with people that are traveling solo as well, tourists, because you're most likely not going to get harmed by a fellow tourist. I mean, they're not prepared to harm you. They're also there to see new places and meet new people. I mean, they might, I'm not 100%, but they are more likely not to have anything against you because they are also open like you. You might end up being friends after that. I mean, the first time I traveled solo, aside the fact that I went to the Philippines to school, the first time I went on a vacation solo was when I went to Malaysia. That was in 2017. Oh my god. When I went to Malaysia, I want to say that I don't know the kind of heart or mind I have, but when I went to Malaysia, that was in 2017, and I met this guy. He's from Kenya, and I met him at the hotel, and he was like, I don't know how, but we just got talking. He is also a tourist. I still like chat with him on WhatsApp. He's also a tourist, and we met at the hotel. And he was like, "Are you there alone?" And of course I said no. I left my friend upstairs, but she's not in a good mood to go out, but I want to go see the Twin Tower. And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's where he's going to as well." So I was like, "Cool, can we go together?" And yeah, that was how we went together, and we took pictures. I'm gonna put the pictures up there if I find it. And we took pictures. His name is Kelvin. And ever since then, we've been talking, and he's still solo traveling, and I am still traveling. I mean, you just need to build the friendship with solo travelers, be in a group, or people that are just alone. So let's connect with your fellow travelers first before the locals. Except you have a tour guide, that's fine. But if you do not have a tour guide, if you went alone and you don't have a tour guide, it's always preferable for you to build connection with a fellow tourist than the locals, because you still do not know them. You don't know how safe it is, and you never can tell. You could find love. Next tip, do not be too flashy. I mean, I know you have the urge to wear all your bling bling and all that. Yeah, I'm in town. I just arrived, California. I just arrived. Yes, girl. But you don't want to be a target. I mean, especially if you are alone. If you've got a drone or if you've got a laptop, you don't just want to bring it out in a public space. You're gonna be a target. They're gonna be, "Oh, this guy is new here. She doesn't know." I mean, you won't discover Mungo Park there during the daytime. As much as possible, avoid going at night. We all know what can happen in the dark. When it's dark, it's dark. So you don't want to go there when it's dark, or you don't want to go out when it's dark if you're traveling first time. I mean, with confidence you can do that. But another tip is be open to learn. You are out of your comfort zone, babe. You are out of your comfort zone. You will go to places for the first time, and you might not have electricity. You might not have tap water running. You might not have your food, the food you love. You might not have all the things you do when you are in your house or when you are in your place of residency. So you need to be open, especially when you're there alone. You don't want to be like, "Oh, I can't eat that." Yeah, have choices, but you don't want to be too picky. I mean, that's the essence of traveling solo. That's the essence of traveling. Learn new culture, out of your comfort zone, build relationship with people. And if you act all messy, or if you act all selective all the time, "Oh God, I can't stay here, I can't do that, you will defeat the purpose of you traveling. If you need to learn how to be flexible, you need to be open to learn new things. If they said in this country you need to cover up, please cover up. If they say in this country we don't go out in the night, do not. If they always make sure your phone is full. You do not want to be outside in a lonely city and your battery is dead. Always make sure you have extra power banks, like two. I always have 2 power banks, so you always make sure that your phone is fully charged and you have extra battery lives, either you have an extra battery or you've got power banks. You also want to make sure you've got internet, so when you get to a new country or you go to a new city, you can get the SIM card of the country. You have data. Make sure you have good connections to the internet so that you can always connect with people and find your way back, because most times when you travel you might likely need to make Google your friend. You might have all your itineraries in your phone. That's why sometimes it's good you've got a book to write down everything you are going to do, just in case your battery is low. You can fall back to your book. And so mine has, you can see, Nostio, aka World Traveler. Are you still thinking of traveling solo? I think if you've watched to this extent, then you are definitely thinking of traveling solo. So let me know in the comment section if you ever have traveled solo or you are planning to travel solo. Also, I will be doing another video answering your questions on solo traveling. I asked a question on my Instagram and on Facebook about solo traveling, and I have got a lot of beautiful questions. I'll be doing the next video answering that questions from you guys, so please make sure you hit the subscribe button and also turn on your notification bell so that when I post the next video answering your questions, you'll be able to watch it at the first instant. And I hope that you are ready to take the world one day at a time, and I hope that your next adventure will be one of the best adventures for you. And I hope you grow to love solo traveling, because at one stage or one point in your life you definitely will travel solo. I'll see you guys in my next video, which is answering your questions about solo traveling. If you have not sent me a question on my Instagram or my Facebook, please drop them in the comment section. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.